Alright, so I started a game against Quintin. I just wanted to make sure the dice were normal before I started recording. Since I'm already recording a game against Johnny, I think I might send this game to YouTube, just depending on how first couple rounds go, just because it's against a Axis and Allies legend like Quintin, and I feel like we're pretty evenly matched, so it would make for a good game. I debated on going 3 artillery, 2 tanks, because I feel like he will tank rush, most likely. That's something he's been trying out. He likes to switch up, and I think he gets kind of bored of playing meta stuff. So I kind of expect him to go tank rush if I clear Ukraine out here pretty well. So let's see. And my results in West Russia were normal. I lost 3 infantry, so you haven't missed much. He's got bomber last, yeah. Well, second to last. So that means that he's probably doing a tank rush. Even with that, throw an AA in there. Infantry back to help. Okay. What to do with this AA? I think he'll go for a tank rush here. I could bring this infantry back, but I do like having the flexibility of having that having that fighter, UK fighter, not landing here if I need to, just in case I want to do something else. If he goes for a tank rush, I'm just going to go pretty much all in on Ukraine or do a really nice strafe. It just kind of depends. He's going to go for 5-1 split, I'm sure. That's his usual staple. 5-1 split, tank rush. If I put the A in Ukraine, I probably need to bring that Russian infantry back. Little micro decisions here. Doesn't really matter at the end of the day because the dice are going to roughly be my favor, his favor, or 50-50. Sometimes one little troop makes a difference. Okay, everything else looks good. I could put one in Brescia if he goes for Pearl, but I like having 4 to come back and hit. I mean, I kind of want to do. I'm leaning towards no with the AA gun in Ukraine. Alright, what would make me not land a fighter here? That's the question I got one. Because he... Oh, if I want to bring my fleet through C-Zone 17. I just like the option. I would hit this. Let's say the battleship goes here and the transport goes here. Aircraft carrier, fighter, bomber. Would I omit this? Because that could be a likely thing. Yeah, I think I'm going to hold on to the A gun. It's weird because normally I advocate against that. And if I don't bring the AA gun, he could hit it with fighter, 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 infantry, infantry, infantry. Still not the end of the world. Or I could throw the AA gun in there, be aggressive, and force him to trade. He might go for a Corellia stack either way. Since I have 6 surviving, though, I probably will try to strafe it. I could throw an AA gun in Ukraine and force him to kind of go tank rush in a way. Or force him to stack. My duos partner from a couple tournaments ago would do Russia to Ukraine, like Germany comes in, counters Ukraine. India pulls back. And that worked for him against a tank rush. Even though I played tank rush and I've beaten tank rush a few times, or more times than not, I still don't know if I play it optimally. I think a good strafe back to West Russia is an optimal play, and then probably going C-Zone 37 could be an optimal play too, to lower the J fighter count. And yeah, there's different ways to play it. AA gun in here feels like a wasted unit, because I feel like 90% sure he's going to go tank rush. Or, well, 50-50. 50 he might go tank rush or stacking Corellia. And if he stacks Corellia, I'll regret not putting an AA gun in here. If he goes tank rush and kills the tanks and AA gun, then it won't be too regrettable. Okay, I lost an AA gun needlessly, but I can counter and strafe him pretty well. I might just go the old meta, with the exception of not leaving one in Beretia. Sometimes new isn't always better. Like this worked for me 2 seasons ago. I played 4 infantry, 2 tanks. And I've been like, number 2 allies for a couple seasons in a row, and then number 1 allies in a row. So that was all with the 4 infantry, 2 tank buy, and doing things like this, and even playing against a tank rush. So it's never let me down as far as finishing top 10 goes with these generic moves. Leaving one here. He takes with 2 infantry, a fighter or something like that, or just sends 3 infantry. I like this flexibility, just to be able to push through here if I need to. And I can also take this fighter and land it over here and really beef that up. I mean, having 6 survive is pretty good. So I can strafe Corellia if he goes for it. I can also hit here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, right? 4, 7 infantry. 1 from here, 8 infantry. 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 tanks. Five tanks. Let's say he gets lucky and I don't get any hitbacks. That's I kind of need this infantry then, right? 7, 8 infantry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus 5. 5, 6 tanks. Man, that's a lot. How did I not know that? 8 plus 6, 14. 14. All right. 8, 9, 9 plus 4 is 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 17 attacking, 14 assuming no hitbacks, just complete luck and wiping. I need this extra guy. And I won't bring the AA gun in. Yeah, I know Quintin's going for a tank rush. I'm almost now. If I take the AA gun out, he might reconsider. He is definitely going to aggressively stack something because he knows his biggest thing that I've always heard him say is Russia cannot be allowed the triple trade. Trading these 3 territories over the course of the game. It just wears out Germany too fast. So Germany has to stack something quickly. I do need to send a fighter to here then. 1 fighter at least. Aircraft carrier, fighter, bomber hitting his battleship, or just leave the battleship alone. Either one works. Okay, that might not be bad. No AA gun. Well, kind of want to force him. I'll bring this infantry back, drop the AA gun in, and then watch him go tank rush maybe. And that kind of limits his options a little bit. Yeah, let's do that. I like 4 up there. It's fine. All right, let's do this. And now we've got 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 18 attacking this territory. And I hope he loses 1 infantry at least. I'm pretty sure he'll go tank rush. So we'll see how he plays that. All right, so Quintin did the Quintin Central 6 tanks infantry buy. Took out the destroyer, did the split. He did pretty much exactly what I thought he'd do, the 5-1 attack. He destroyed my 2 tanks and anti-aircraft for 1 infantry loss. I know somebody might be thinking in the comments, like, what, man, that's a bad IPC trade. Why'd you throw the AA gun in there? Well, I pretty much forced him to go to Ukraine and stack it, which, if I play this right, I'll show you why allies should have the advantage over that and should win the game. But in a strong allied start like this, with the average, 3-person loss and then 2 tanks surviving, you have to do something as Axis to gamble. You can't just sit there and play passively. So you either have to go like a lot of air and gamble on the fleet, or tank rush early and assert your dominance. So if I can counter this correctly, allies should win by making him go here. If he stacked Karelia, let's say, and I was too afraid to attack, that could be another avenue that Axis could slowly start snowballing momentum towards victory. So I like forcing him to go to Ukraine so that 2 tank AA gun loss for one infantry. I know it looks bad on paper, but you can't be perfectionist. You have to look at the big picture. And overall strategy, this does favor me. I'd say like 70-30, maybe 60-40. But Quintin's definitely put the pressure on. So this split really helped him out. I'd say they gave him another 10% edge. So let's say it was 70-30, my edge. Now it's like 60-40. Just a rough estimate. I'm not a professional and like, looking all this out, but just my experience. This delays a France drop, which is huge. So I debate on buying an aircraft carrier, the transport, and keeping a fighter back. That would be 1, 2, 3 versus 5, 6, and he would probably trade that cruiser out unless I try to hit it with the bomber, U.S. bomber. I need to put another fighter here, so I'm going to do the 61 attack. It will give him a little bit of odds though on Szechuan, so that's okay. You got to make concessions somewhere. This battleship, hopefully I get decent hits. Aircraft carrier, fighter, bomber. Probably one round, one hit. I gotta lose the fighter. Another hit, lose the bomber. Aircraft carrier probably survives. Or bring everything through and just say, screw this. Or land the fighter there and don't even go after 61. That's kind of a more attractive option. Move carrier, cruiser, fighter, bomber. This fighter flies over. Because I'm going to be giving up India anyways. And even if he'll do the 2 tank buy and that sort of stuff. Yeah, I might omit 61 here in exchange for getting a fleet here and harassing him early on. Anyways, I know I'm going with the 2 fighter buy, so this fighter could probably land over there. So I might go aircraft carrier, cruiser, fighter, bomber. Bomber can land here. Fighter, that fighter will go there also. 1, 2, 3. Season 37 is an option. I think it's a little risky. I know I was playing Dan, and Dan, he had a great strategy, but he also had some of the best dice in the world too versus me when I did this tank rush. He strafed me like really good, landed fighters here, held West Russia, and then kept like Arc dead zone, Caucasus dead zone, kept everything dead zone and then he went for 37 and had like an aircraft carrier, fighter, maybe even a cruiser left over. And then he went KJF. And I could not make momentum. I think I bought tanks after that as well. And it was just like tanks versus infantry. And he would buy 8 infantry. I'd buy 6 tanks. I just could not get a hold in the game. And it was just, Germany took forever. And then by then, I think it was like round 4 or 5, he owned like a money island because of, he was putting the pressure on with KJ, with the UK fleet. So this is tough. Heads up on my Johnny game and this game, I will be camping. I might bring my laptop. I'll bring it, but I may just do my moves on my phone. It's just not that serious. If family time versus recording a game. And so I'll bring my laptop. Maybe if I'm feeling up for it, I'll record it on my laptop. If not, I'll just screenshot some things, DM myself. I have 2 accounts on the Discord, and then use those pictures. I'll upload them in a video and explain my thought process that way. And then short vacation. Then after Monday, I think Monday or Tuesday, I'll be back to desktop filming the games and commenting in this style. I think this is fine because allowing him to have the destroyer and transport. I mean, he's going to go for the 2 tank buy and then stack here, and then Russia's going to need help to fortify. But with a tank rush, anyways, India is not really too prioritized. He could try to go for a VC victory, something like that. But yeah, I feel like that makes sense here. I'm not worried about hitting this yet. I'll attack it with something. Maybe this fighter, if it survives. He'll probably go for this, I bet. So if this fighter survives, I'll hit that. I don't think I'll use a Russian fighter on here. Yeah, you're going to open up the med for me. I'm going to go for it. This cruiser could come back. Oh, this cruiser could just come back here, and then he could pick up. It's not bad. You could keep this cruiser here, and then use it to bring a transport down. A couple options there. I like these moves. Yep, looks good. 37 wouldn't be a bad move either, but I'm just not that much of a gambler unless I had a terrible R1. In my duos game, we did a 37 to get back into it. Dropped a carrier, dropped a destroyer, dropped 1 infantry, placed 2 infantry in UK. You can flip-flop it however it goes with that kind of play. All right, so UK, this should go well. I'll elect to lose maybe the bomber, maybe the cruiser, one of the two. Perhaps. Okay, I think I'm ready. All right. Oh, good. All right, what do I want to lose? The cruiser. 1, 2. I feel like bomber's pretty valuable. Fly around, hit things, threaten things. I might lose the cruiser. Oh, it'd be cool if I landed the bomber over there, but this makes sense. Oh, yeah. And another good thing about landing the bomber there, it puts additional pressure on these seasons. Fighter. I could go fighter up here if I want to be extra cautious. All right, when you have units like this, you lose this. I would just bring infantry and then tank over there. UK ground. That's kind of... All right, and then... Cruiser, sub. I could go empty transport because I've got 2 units up there, but sometimes I like to use that UK infantry just to block. A little bit more flexibility. I kind of encourage him to go for the expansion route because it's Axis. That is better if he does that. Leave an infantry here. I got my bomber to survive, so I can just exit that territory. Oh, maybe since he's got odds, maybe I should put infantry AA gun. Because what is he going to do? He's going to go fighter there, fighter there. If he sends 2 fighters this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's send an infantry here, perhaps. This is a tank. 1, 2, 3, 4. Cruiser here. So he's kind of trapped. Doesn't really make sense though. It doesn't really matter. I like 2 fighters here. Just give me the options of if I did get a really good strafe. These 4 infantry coming back here would be good. I could go 1 fighter here, 1 fighter here. Most likely I hit, let's say I retreat, I have like 3 tanks and artillery. It's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And he would, let's say he's got like 2 tanks left. So I got 10 units plus the fighters, it's 12. If I'm lucky, the fighter over there, 13, but I doubt it. So 12. So 2, 6, 7, 12, 16, 17. 17 versus 12. I have to pretty much take. So let's say I take this territory. He has 6. I doubt he sends all 4 tanks because he's going to want to make sure he kills us cleanly. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or sorry, 1, 2, 5, 11. 11 attacking, whatever. 3 tanks left over. 4, so 6, 10. I don't know about those fighters there. It makes more sense to actually drop him here, and then these 4 slide. And then if he goes for it heavy, then I can hit. Kind of makes more sense to do that. And then, shoot. That's stupid of me. I should have hit it with the cruiser. If I'm going to do that. That's why you got to think through the moves before doing them. Yeah, that was pointless because then I could have gone cruiser, 2 fighters to hit this, land, and arc. Now he's got like a little free hit point, but not the biggest deal in the world. I wonder if I can drop a cruiser in that territory just for fun. Nope. Okay. I don't know why I've never tried that before. Surface ship in the surface ship zone. You can't do that. Yeah, this cruiser's kind of... This one should have gone to sack that. Yeah. Unless I get a really good strafe. Maybe 1 there, 1 there. But that's kind of pointless. You want both there. So 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 18 versus 12 and a half. Could be 17 versus 12 and a half if I lose a fighter. Let's say 4 left over. 4 left over. Let's say I retreat back. 5, 6, 10, 11, 15. There's no way that I'm going to be able to retreat and hold West Russia. That's why when I played Dan, he got the luckiest strafe I've ever seen in my life. He like pretty much lost like, I don't know, 2 infantry or something and like reduced me down to like a tank or something. I don't know, it was something ridiculous. At least it felt that way. Not taking anything away from Dan. He's a phenomenal player, but when you're a phenomenal player and then you get those kind of dice, it's insane to play against. It was pretty much GG after round 1. I think I'm not landing this fighter in arc because out of spite to justify not killing this cruiser. So I need to just suck it up. All right. 2 fighters here because I want him to go for that. If he goes for that, I just hit him with these 4 Russian infantry coming across. Like, here's a nice tasty target, and then 4 infantry, boom. He just won't be able to hit that. It'll be infantry, 2 fighters. He might try to strafe it or something, but yeah, I think kill this. No strafe, really. Having these fighters on the board in the central location is decent. U.S. bomber versus cruiser. I hate having to do that, but that's what it's kind of looking like. All right, so a little mistake on my part. I gotta think through my moves more. But that's kind of what happens when you're getting ready to go camping, and I've got, or just I didn't think through my moves. All right, so UK won. I feel like I've placed those fighters in West Russia. I have to get really lucky to be able to hold West Russia again. I think the best thing to do is just kill Ukraine, rebuild. He'll stack something, hold, moves to West Russia, build more, move my India guys back, dead zone Caucasus. Mobilize like one Russian, one USSR troop in here, and then make him like kind of exchange, hold West Russia, use this fleet to be annoying, threaten France, threaten Italy. Good thing is he doesn't have any fighters, and I would say you can almost buy a bomber as Germany. Would that be more effective? And then you get 4 tanks. I don't know. 4 tanks seems pretty measly. You could have bought another. Could go 5 tanks and a fighter, because I think you get he gets 1 IPC left over. So cash in that 3 for the infantry, plus the 1 that's left over. That's 4 plus a tank, and then you've got a perfect buy, right? 5 times 6 is 30, 40. 1 IPC left over, anyways. But yeah, you can go 5 fighters if you want, or buy a fighter and go up to 6 fighters is what I'm saying is Germany, as opposed to 6 tanks, 1 infantry. All right, that's my turn. 2 fighters up here, an arc. I don't think he's gonna mess with that when I bring this fat stack back. Jack. And then, all right, it's pretty decent. The only thing I'm mad about is not hitting the cruiser. Other than that, pretty good. I like the artillery buy. I like having my bomber. Yeah, I mean, everything's pretty decent. Not bad. I like having the infantry there. It just kind of looks cool. Probably intimidates him a little bit. Look at that multicolored, multinational defense. Always go for the intimidation factor. All right, so there's my turn. We'll see what Mr. Quintin does, and I'll have to film on my phone. All right, in this game, Quintin did do the tank rush. I moved my UK units around. I was on a camping trip, so I screenshotted my games, and here was his J turn. Fairly straightforward. He bought 2 transports, a tank, a couple infantry, and artillery, and he's setting up for the J3 timing on India, which he has written about in Discord. And basically, you're going to need Russian aid to help out with that. So, my thoughts here were, I'm going to pretty much go for the Ukraine hit, see what happens here. Might be able to retreat if I get really good strafe. However, I'm not going to retreat to West Russia. I've made that mistake before. I pretty much need like a lot of fighter support. So with US, what I'm going to do is I'm going to attack Africa over here with East US, and I made that mistake with UK and not hitting the German cruiser with my cruiser and 2 fighters. So I'm going to do fairly aggressive attack and go US bomber versus German cruiser. 12 for 12. And I get a 4 and he's rolling a 3. So a little bit of an advantage there. Still mad that I didn't use my UK cruiser, my fighters, since my fighters were going to land in arc anyways. That was a mistake on my part. So Hopefully I get lucky with that roll. And this is the J turn here. Let's see if anything else to talk about. No Pearl. I'm not going to plan on sending my ships down to Sea Zone 45. Just because I don't think I can fortify India in time if I slide back India. Okay, US won and Russia won. I went back in my game and checked, and I saw that I did send guys down to Sea Zone 45, so I am going to try to save India. Just kind of catching up. So I took my round 1 US and Russia turn and Russia 2 camping, and then UK 2 camping, and then I'll do my US 2 and Russia 3 turn live since I'm back home now. All right, so I'll omit going over this first. So here's what happened with US. Took here, captured, moved up to Sea Zone 2 for hitting Arc if I need to, or hitting elsewhere. And then Russia went, and I bought 4 infantry, 4 artillery. I decided on hitting Ukraine, and then I placed 2 Russian infantry in Caucasus because I was nervous about the airstrike. So 7 versus 4, probably not too profitable for him. And then I was able to stack up here as well. 5 plus 5, 10 versus a strong 8. A weak 10 versus a strong 8. And he's not going to go for that. And then I'll look to fortify with like a fighter or something in Moscow in case Germany tries to stack West Russia. So that was my German turn. Oh, I also went after Beretia, and now I'm making him bring more troops up here. So since he's going for an India push, I want to make sure he allots some troops up here, making it tricky. So he has to figure out what he can send and what he can't, or else they're going to walk into Manchuria and grab 3 extra infantry, 3 extra IPCs. All right, so that's the turn. Pretty average turn, I think, with the... I think War Report's pretty similar, actually. I think it was dead even when I looked after this.